For those of you that don't know me, and most of the folks from the clerk's office obviously do, but we have a lot of honored guests as well. My name is Shannon Ramsey Chessman, and I am honored and privileged to be serving as the Chief Deputy Clerk, Chief of Staff, and CIO for Clerk Joseph Abruzzo. I'd like to welcome you all today to the swearing-in ceremony celebrating Clerk Abruzzo's second term in office as our, and we like to refer to him as our, Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller. So I want to just tell a little story. I'm going to take my glasses off for this one. So a little over 4 years ago, I'm sitting in my office in the Martin County Clerk's office because I was no longer with the Palm Beach County Clerk's office. And so I get a phone call, and on the other end of the line, a gentleman says to me, "Hi, my name is Joseph Abruzzo. I'm the newly elected Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller." To which I'm very quiet and speechless because I have no idea how this phone call is going to go. So I was very, very nervous. So I just started listening to him, and the conversation turned to, do you think that you would be willing to come back to the Palm Beach County Clerk's office? And in my head, I'm going, don't jump, take your time, ask some questions. And in my heart, I'm going, yes, now I'm ready, when can I start? So it was a bit of a vetting process, I guess, right? We started to dialogue because I don't know Clerk Abruzzo, I didn't know him before, and he didn't know me. But the conversation really turned to, what's your vision for the office? What are you looking for from the team? What do you want to accomplish? I really wanted to understand at his core if he was here for the office or if he was here for the title. And I think he wanted to understand if I was willing to come back for the office or come back for a reason that maybe wouldn't be as appropriate, like a little bit of payback, that I would be able to come back to the office, frankly. So we met at, very true, I can admit it to myself and all. So we met at, I think it was First Watch out in Wellington, and we sat down, I think we talked for like 2.5 hours, just about the philosophy of how you treat people, what he wanted for the clerk's office. So the key that really came through from the clerk was, it's all about people. And the customers being our staff from an executive level, treating staff with the respect and dignity that they deserve, you deserve, and that translating to how we treat the public. So the question really was, did I feel at that point in time that he was truly a public servant for the right reason? And I did, or else I would not have chosen to come back to the office. So I think it was a pretty good first meeting that day. So being back with the office that I absolutely love with all of my heart, I don't want to be anywhere else, I learned very quickly when the clerk told us his guiding principles. Right when he took office, we had the conversation. How do you want to lead the organization? So the very first guiding principle that Clerk Abruzzo told me was honor. And I went to dictionary.com. Honesty, fairness, or integrity in one's beliefs and actions. I can truly tell you that Clerk Abruzzo epitomizes honor. He's fair with us. He serves with integrity. He does things for the right reason. He's a true public servant, and if you're going to be in office, your core should be as a public servant. The next guiding principle was respect. Esteem for one self-worth or excellence of a person. So it's not just an expectation that we respect him as the leader, it's that we respect each other. And Clerk Abruzzo respects us back. It isn't a one-sided respect. A lot of people will say, respect me because of the position I'm in. Other people will say, I'll respect you back. He also respects the amazing work that all of you do every single day that translates to the public. And the public respects this office more, in my opinion, than it ever has because of the work that we do. And the last guiding principle was devotion to duty. Profound dedication is what dictionary.com said on that. Dedication that is not trivial or superficial. So anybody who's spent more than 30 seconds with you, Mr. Clerk, knows that you are not a superficial person. You don't lie, you don't tell tales, you don't twist. You're a leader, you advocate for us, you protect us, and frankly, you're an all-around great person. So all of those guiding principles translate into how our office works. We all know the guiding principles, very easy for us. If you ask anybody in leadership, they can tell you quickly. And for those that didn't, in a couple of our meetings, learned them when they got asked and couldn't tell you what they were. But living that spirit of public service has resulted in our office, not just internally because of the way we all feel to be able to work in this office, but externally, being judged by peers and others. So, the awards that we have won, I'm just going to read a few. American Heart Association Workforce Wellbeing Scorecard. I can't tell you how much staff appreciates the balance of work-life to be able to take care of their own physical and mental health. CFEX, the Certified Investment Stewardship. We are still, I believe, we are the only government that wins that award with CFEX. Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, going on 30 years, 35. Thank you, Paul. The Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. We are the only clerk's office in the state that bothers to put together a budget so that you know what the office is about. The Healthiest 100 Workplaces in America, the #1 healthiest workplace employer in South Florida. Let's see, I don't want to repeat them. That was in 2024. We won all of those in 2023. Oh, and a new one. So the Clerks Association has put out best practices for the work that we do. It's voluntary if offices want to follow. This office has excelled and follows every single best practice from the Clerks Association in the state for every single year. So we're one of few that have all of those best practices awards. So huge kudos to all of you courts. We've also won GFOA's Award of Achievement for the Popular Annual Financial Report. We're extremely proud of that document to be able to provide our citizens a very simple 20-page recap of the county's finances. Altogether, the Certificate of Achievement and the PAFR and the budget is an award that GFOA now calls the Triple Crown. There are fewer than 200 government agencies in the country that have the Triple Crown. We've got the Triple Crown for all three. We've been recognized by Gold Coast PR Council for Here to Help Homeowners and our checks and balances, the PAFR, the videos we put together, the outreach that we do so that folks that are using our services have an understanding of what they're getting themselves into. So I'm going to wrap up quickly. I didn't want to be too long, but let me just say one simple sentiment, just straight from me. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to continue as part of this organization. And I think I speak for everybody. We've never had a better clerk that had more heart for this office. Your staff knows it, the public certainly knows it, and we are so incredibly proud to serve as part of your leadership team. So with that, I'm going to invite Senior Rabbi Ronnie Keller to come up, and he's going to do the invocation because the Bible is here. So, all right, I took just long enough. There were more awards, but I saw the Bible out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, Shannon has 5 minutes. And if I've learned anything in swearing-ins from the chief judge, your timetable is you better follow the timetable. So thank you all, Rabbi.
Hi. Thank you for the three of you that said hi back to me. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm at synagogue. No one even knows that I'm there. It's great. Synagogue, or like I'm at home. No one knows that I'm there. I say hello and people are like, you again. You still live here. Yes. I am beyond honored to be here, to be sharing in this moment with all of you and with all of us, and of course to be celebrating Joseph Abruzzo in this wonderful moment that we get to share together. I was very lucky to be sitting a seat or two away from him a few weeks ago at an Israel Bonds dinner. Happy that Mark Rubin is also here. And it is a pleasure to be standing here with you again. The section in our Jewish text this week, it actually ends the first book of the Bible. It ends the book of Genesis. I was going to quiz you all, but we'll leave the quiz for later. So it ends the first book of the Old Testament, if you will, or the Hebrew Bible, the first book, and it is the book of Genesis. And it is a book about legacy, and it is a book about protection, and it is a book about support, and it is a book about caring, and particularly this week, because there's a great, beautiful transition that happens, and the transition that a lot of our ancestors in the text help to bring forth and ring through. And so I was reading through some of the information about the work that all of you do here, and particularly what Joe does. And a lot of the words sort of connect really beautifully. Proudly serving public records, taxpayers' money, the word leading and teams and serving and responsibility and care and investment. All of these words, I think, fit perfectly into this moment that we're in right now. And even more so as I was glancing at our text before coming up here for what I was told I get a 45-minute speech that I get to share with you. Good, you're awake, just to make sure. Thank you. I was doing too much Bible. I wanted to make sure that you weren't glazed over. The thing that stuck out the most with me was that we are thinking of Joseph in this moment right now, and the person in our text, by the way, who did all those things at the end of the book of Genesis was Joseph. Because it was Joseph who was the one who knew how to help set up at that time, particularly during a huge famine, how to take care of his community, how to set up the rations, the food, to do it with honor, and to do it and to lead and be responsible and to do all those steps. And because of that, he was greatly honored. And so it, like a ton of bricks, it struck me, this Joseph beautiful connection. And we really, truly believe in Judaism that there are no coincidences, that timing works for a reason for this week's section of our text to fall in this moment right now. And so from Joseph to Joseph, like I said, I am honored to stand here with you. And so with the Bible, do we have the Bible? Are you going to come join? But both of you come up and join? Is that how we're going to do it? Yeah? Oh, the judge. Okay, so I'm not doing the swearing. What Bible is it? Can I just check the Bible? I'm just kidding. All right, good. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, you're the judge, right? I got it. I figured it out all by myself. See that? See that? See that? Well, I went to school for 6 years after college to realize that you're the judge. I did it myself. The chief judge, see? Whew. Here is my blessing for you. May you be granted wisdom and courage in the responsibilities you are about to undertake, just as the patriarchs did in our text, that passed on their blessings to future generations. May your actions be guided by integrity, by compassion and fairness, and may you, like Joseph, leave behind and collectively do the work that provides a legacy that echoes with righteousness and with peace. May you serve with a heart that seeks the common good, and may your decisions bring justice, progress, and harmony to those who you serve. Thank you.
All right, do you want them to have a microphone? Or are you okay without a mic? All right, if you put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand after we adjust the mic.
Hello.
Repeat after me. I,
I,
Joseph Abruzzo,
Joseph Abruzzo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the government of the United States
and the government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I will do, and that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and
And that-
faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of the clerk
the duties of the clerk
of the circuit court
the
and
circuit-
controller
of the circuit court and comptroller,
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief Judge.
Still standing here because I want to take a moment of personal privilege. And usually when I do that, people don't shoo me off, but I realize this is not my show, okay? So I do want to add just a couple of comments, and I promise they'll be brief, on how much, as Chief Judge, I've enjoyed working under your leadership in the clerk's office. And Amy can probably speak to this better than I can because she was involved in court administration for much longer than I was. I've been chief judge for about 3.5 years. But I don't believe there's been a better working relationship between the court and the clerk's office than there is under your leadership. The response we always get when we go to the clerk's office to ask for something and to need to do something is, how can we help? And it's always a positive response. And I think that by virtue of that positive response, we've worked better the last 3.5 years together than I can remember. And Amy's shaking her head, so I think she agrees. And the people that win when that happens, it's not you and I, it's not the clerk's office, it's not the judge, it's the public that wins when that happens. And I just want to personally thank you for that relationship that we have developed. And I am thrilled that you're going to be serving another term, beyond probably what I'll be serving as Chief Judge. But nevertheless, I'm just thrilled that you're back to serve and that we have that opportunity to continue to serve together the public.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your spiritual blessing. In the times that we are facing as a country and as a state, spiritual leaders like yourself are needed more than ever, of course, in good time and in bad. Chief Judge, I could not agree more. The working relationship that we have had has been terrific. To be directly blunt, when I first was able to get elected to clerk 4 years ago, we actually go through New Clerk Academy. And I was hearing horror stories about other circuits across the state and the adverse relationship between the clerks and the judiciary. When I was able to come into the office, that's one of the things that Shannon and I talked about on day one, which Amy, of course, was instrumental about, was that we are here to serve the bench. We're not, I know we're equal in the way that government is set up, but I look at it that we are here to support you and your judges, and that's the way we operate. And yes, that is actually our motto. We are here to help, and we're always here to help you, Chief Judge. Shannon, I have a lot in here for you, but I will say this, in reminiscing about over 4 years ago now, and the meetings that we had, it was a no-brainer to me. I will just sum it up in this regard. There are jurisdictions, other clerks' offices throughout our state that have had some very difficult times. Quite frankly, criminal activity. When an issue happens, The first call that I get, when of course it has nothing to do with our office, like what just happened in the Panhandle, the first call that I personally get is from their local government saying, can you please send Shannon? It happens every single time. Your knowledge, experience, dedication, and yes, above all, honesty is one of the most important things that helps keep this office where it is today. And that's why you are so sought after. When any emergency happens, they want Shannon. Today marks not only the beginning of a new term, but the continuation of a mission to serve Palm Beach County. And yes, with honor, respect, and devotion to duty. You could have given my speech. These guiding values inspired me by my time in the United States Coast Guard have become the foundation of our office and the bedrock of our clerk family. Together, we've built a culture of integrity, service, and excellence. On that, one that ensures every decision we make reflects the unwavering commitment to the residents of Palm Beach County. When I assumed office 4 years ago, the world was in a grip of global pandemic. My first swearing-in ceremony was streamed virtually, and my mother, Therese Cataldo, and grandmother, Rosemary Cataldo, watched from afar. Today, they are no longer with us, but their belief in public service continues to inspire me daily. I'm fortunate to have my grandparents, Bud Cataldo and Antoinette Abruzzo, they will be watching this ceremony via streaming, as they were both lifelong business owners and operators that have been my example of hard work and resilience. I want to take a moment to thank the people who have made this journey possible. To the voters and residents of Palm Beach County, who have placed their trust in me through 6 elections, thank you for your confidence and support. This is my second term as your clerk, and I'm honored to serve you. To my wife, Abigail, thank you for your unwavering patience, understanding, and strength. As a former frontline police officer, you deeply understand the demands of public service, and your support has made it possible for me to dedicate myself fully to this role, and I love you more than anything. To my son, Joseph, AKA J2, you are my greatest joy. Although you cannot be here today, your achievements in school and athletics make me proud every day. Your hard work reminds me why we must always strive better for an incredible future. To my father, Peter, thank you for you teaching me the importance of hiring the best people and trusting them to excel in their fields without micromanagement. This wisdom has been a cornerstone of my leadership, and it is reflected in the extraordinary team we have built here at the Clerk family. To Shannon, we lead our office together. I have even more later, but again, thank you for all that you do. Finally, I want to recognize our nearly 650 employees who make our office a success. You are the foundation of everything we do, and your dedication to serving the residents of Palm Beach County is noticed countywide every single day. When I took office, I promised to lead with a vision grounded in integrity, transparency, and innovation. On my very first day, we eliminated non-disparagement agreements, empowering employees to speak freely and fostering an environment of trust and accountability. Shortly after, we raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour, years ahead of the state-required mandate, because every member of our team, even those who are working our front counters, deserve dignity and living wages. Additionally, we implemented the first office-wide raises in decades and established the Ombudsman Office to give employees a direct voice to leadership. These foundational steps have not only strengthened the culture of our clerk family, but also positioned our office as a national model of leadership and progress. Today, I'm proud to share how these early commitments have transformed every department, ensuring that the clerk's office leads with fairness, care, and an unwavering commitment to the residents of Palm Beach County. For our Chief of Staff at IT and Budget, under the leadership of Shannon Ramsey Chessman, our Chief Deputy Clerk, we've revolutionized IT and budget operations. Shannon, with over 20 years of experience in this office, has been instrumental in driving efficiency and innovation. We implemented robust cybersecurity measures, including multi-factor authentication, single sign-on, making our systems amongst the most secure in government. When I first took over as clerk, we had a bunch of initiatives that were just sitting on the shelf. We immediately pulled them off for our residents of Palm Beach County. Also, the cybersecurity measure, as many of you know, I hold the only office in the entire state, the clerks and comptrollers. We are personally liable for anything that goes wrong in our office. Yes, as you know, the county takes out a $5 million bond to cover, but when you have all the official records, if there's a data dump, or we control billions of dollars or hold billions of dollars, if any of that money comes off the train tracks, $5 million does not cover me personally a lot. So thank you for the cybersecurity measures. We transitioned from Oracle to SQL, which saved taxpayers nearly $500,000 every single year. We also launched Florida's first mobile payment plan, helping residents avoid unnecessary driver's license suspensions and stay on track with their financial obligations. Looking ahead, Shannon's team will lead the creation, and I'm going to get into this a lot in a little bit, of a property fraud task force, which will protect homeowners from fraudulent claims and safeguard the integrity of public records. Additionally, we will continue integrating artificial intelligence and data analytics to enhance transparency, improve efficiency, and provide better service for our residents. But I want to make a commitment to you, and especially, the supervisors and managers are with us today. AI is transforming our nation. AI is transforming the workforce. But I have a commitment to every single member of the Clerk family. I will never replace somebody over AI. If they retire, if they leave and the position's open and AI fills it, and it's an open position, that is one thing. But nobody will lose their job under my tenure, as long as I'm here, for artificial intelligence, which we will be reading about in private and public sectors for years to come. It will not happen as long as I'm your clerk. In communication and community outreach, led by Kathy Bernstein, our communication and community engagement team has transformed how we connect to the public. We created the first dedicated community engagement team in clerk history, conducted over 30 specialized presentations annually, attended hundreds of community events, and organized community resource fairs to help residents connect to essential services. Our property fraud alert campaign has been a resounding success. Increased subscriptions by 250% in just 6 months. By redesigning our website to include multilingual chatbots, creating accessible how-to videos in both Spanish and Creole, we've made clerk services more accessible than ever before. Looking ahead, Kathy and her team will launch mobile clerk units to serve underserved communities, expand community resource fairs, and conduct a comprehensive communication survey to ensure our outreach meets the needs of every resident. In court operations and legal services, under the leadership of Amy Borman, our Chief Operating Officer for Courts and Official Records, as well as our General Counsel, we've made tremendous strides in modernizing court operations. Amy's extensive legal expertise, including serving as your General Counsel in judicial administration once upon a time, Amy's experience enables us to help digitize court records dating back all the way from 1874. Introduce, which is big for the attorneys, as you all well know, e-certification for official documents, and expand self-service operations like online auctions. We've also partnered with organizations like People of Purpose to assist individuals experiencing housing instability and expand services to our Royal Palm Beach branch to include mental health, family, and domestic violence cases. Done a lot, Amy. I'm grateful for your time. In the future, Amy's team will oversee the merger of county and circuit departments, an establish of a dedicated probate and mental health department, and implementation of self-service kiosks to improve customer service experience throughout our locations. Our Office of Inspector General, and I see you here, Roger. Under Roger, our Inspector General, the office has strengthened its role in ensuring accountability and transparency. Roger's team has been instrumental, really the nationwide leader, and protecting vulnerable residents through guardianship fraud prevention, and now we'll have massive roles in operations of property fraud. I see Anthony is here today as well. Again, similar to Shannon, whenever there's a nationwide or directly a worldwide conference, they want Roger and Anthony to be presenters at those to explain to, I'm not exaggerating, the world how we handle our guardianship fraud investigations. Since you will have a massive role under Property Fraud Task Force, I wanted to explain this because this will be one of the cornerstones of this time in office. Prior to coming clerk, our office, as many of you know, operate the Property Fraud Alert, which is for our residents to sign up freely if anybody files a false deed or many different mechanisms of how they've been going about stealing property. They get alerted by our office. It's completely for free. We are ground zero in the United States, Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade learned about Property Fraud Alert through us. Broward County. They decided to form a task force, which includes their state attorney, sheriff's department. They have different roles. As many of you know, the clerk down there do not have the extensive breadth and powers that we do. They don't even operate as the comptroller. And then the chief judge from Broward made a dedicated judge for expediting the cases of property fraud. I've been having initial meetings with our new state attorney, Alexia Cox, who just took office today, and the sheriff, and soon to be with the chief judge, about creating the Property Fraud Task Force right here, which we will be really the most worked. We have to do the investigations. We're the first ones that get the complaints. That said, they have, Anthony, how many investigations do they have going on right now? They have hundreds in Broward County, hundreds of investigations just this year alone, and are prosecuting many as we speak. I don't want to give specific numbers because I don't have them, but it's extensive. So what are these bad actors going to do? They have this robust enforcement mechanism down in Broward. We have nothing here. So naturally, they're going to key in on where they're not, where we're not focused. We are getting focused. We are getting organized. And this will be one of the main initiatives of the office moving forward. Finance and investment, led by Radcliffe Brown. Our Chief Operating Officer for Finance is Radcliffe, and the clerk's office has achieved groundbreaking financial results, solidifying Palm Beach County's position as a model of fiscal excellence. During my tenure, our investment portfolio has generated an astounding $463 million of extra income for the residents of Palm Beach County, translating to substantial savings for residents. To put that in perspective, when I took office, our investment portfolio was earning $27 million a year annually. We just reported last year a record-breaking $173 million investment return. We're at 220. I'm going to be conservative, it's more, but 220 million I'm about to report to the county commission for this year. Even our sister counties, which are much larger in Broward and Miami-Dade, have not achieved this success. And Felicia Landerman, I know, are you here, Felicia? John Burford, they know I'm pretty hands-on with our investment, but I do want to tell one brief anecdote, and I apologize if I'm going a little long. I don't want to make this about me. It's important that we put on the record of our office, and I want you to know where we're going. Anyhow, when I took office for clerk, a lot of clerks' offices farm out the financial investments. So I did get presentation by the big people on Wall Street, including the Goldman Sachs of the world. And they laid out their exact plan of what they would do with our money. And of course, we would have to pay these high fees for them to manage our portfolio. Well, not only obviously did we do better than what they proposed? We did significantly better, and Felicia and John saved their initial portfolios, and for many quarters, stop now, but they would show, hey, if we did what Goldman Sachs wanted, we would have been earning 70% less. So managing it in-house, staying on top of it has been paramount for the residents of Palm Beach County. We do not pay those fees. We outperformed, as I said, the Wall Street big people, if you will, and just so thankful for your work, and thank you for being part of our Clerk family. Looking ahead, our goal is to generate an additional $600 million in investment income, bringing the total to an unprecedented $1 billion during my tenure. These funds will enhance the county's financial stability and support essential services, reflecting our unwavering commitment to sound fiscal stewardship and well-being of Palm Beach County and our residents. Human resource and employee wellness. Under the guidance of Tracy Ellison, our Human Resource Department has prioritized the well-being of employees. As you heard from Shannon, recognized as the #1 healthiest employer in South Florida. That is even the private sector. I believe it was 5,000 and under or something about that. Yeah, but any company, 5,000 under, and this isn't a runner-up, this wasn't one of those awards you pay to be an honorary whatever. Remarkable. We've expanded wellness programs to include rooftop yoga, on-site counseling, and mental health resources. Our guiding principles recognized program celebrates exceptional employees, performance in real time, fostering a culture, appreciation, and excellence for our employees. You know, I've been working in government almost my entire adult life, many years, and HR was always, after you got hired and you heard HR, it was doom and gloom. And Tracy, I'm so fortunate that you came on, when we had our first initial meeting, or my vetting of her, if you will, it was that we wanted HR to be exactly that, resources for our employees. That it isn't the big bad wolf when you hear HR, that we're gonna turn this into something that truly accentuates our Clerk family, and that's exactly what we've done. And Tracy, it's your guidance and leadership, and I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, you could applaud. It's good. We've had some special initiatives. Just announced recently, I don't know if it went out today, Kathy, but we are doing free passport photos for service members. This year we will proudly introduce a program offering, because we operate the Federal Passport Office as well, free passport photos for veterans, active duty military, and reservists, a meaningful gesture to honor their sacrifice and dedication. As a community, we owe it to our service members to provide them with resources and recognition they deserve, and this program is a small but heartfelt way to give back to those who've given so much. And I will tell you, in the HR realm as well, when a veteran applies to us, they get markups on their score. We want our service members serving here at the Clerk's office. Hope Card Program. The Hope Card Program has been a transformative resource for survivors of domestic violence in Palm Beach County. This initiative provides survivors with a compact, easily portable card that verifies the existence of a protective order, making interactions with law enforcement simpler and safer. By eliminating bureaucracy barriers and increasing accessibility, the Hope Card empowers survivors to assert their rights confidentially, enhancing their safety and peace of mind. Developed in collaboration with the Florida Clerks and Comptrollers and the Florida Attorney General's Office, this program is part of our broader commitment to supporting vulnerable residents. It streamlines the process of obtaining and using protective orders, demonstrating our dedication to fostering a safer community. Moving forward, we will plan to expand the Hope Card program to ensure it reaches every individual who could benefit from life-changing resources. One of the most profound achievements of this past term has been the release of the Jeffrey Epstein grand jury records, a step that underscores our unwavering dedication to transparency, justice, and accountability. These records, long shrouded in secrecy, held critical insight into one of the most high-profile cases of our time. Their release on July 1st, 2024, was not only a promise fulfilled, but also a pivotal moment in the pursuit of justice for Jeffrey Epstein victims and for the public's right to know. The effort to release these records was far from simple. It required bold legislative action, and collaborative leadership. Working with Senator Tina Polsky and Representative Peggy Gossett-Seidman, we crafted and championed legislation that paved the way for the records to be unsealed. This legislation reflected a groundbreaking effort to prioritize transparency over secrecy while adhering to the highest standards of legality and ethical governance. Our legal team, led by Amy Borman, alongside legal counsel Jennifer Pritz and Colin Jackson, played a vital role partnering with our government affairs team at Ballard Partners. They navigated the complex legal and legislative landscape to ensure this effort met both state and federal requirements. Their tireless dedication exemplifies the best of public service. Thank you to Amy and your team. The release of the Epstein grand jury records provided long overdue clarity and accountability, offering a sense of partial closure to the victims and reaffirming public trust in the legal system. It also set a new precedent for transparency in cases where public interest and justice demand it. Beyond Palm Beach County, this moment resonated on a national and international scale, reflecting the power of local leadership to influence global conversation in justice and accountability. A special thanks to Judge Delgado. Without his ruling, these records would have never been released. This achievement will remain a cornerstone of our office legacy, a testament to our commitment to justice, a victory for the victims, and a clear message that no one is above accountability. Moving forward, we will continue to uphold the principles of transparency and integrity that made this milestone possible. Before I announce the reappointment of our leadership team, I do have some dear people with us in attendance I wanted to point out. First off, we became the global leader in investment in Israel bonds. We currently have $700 million invested in Israel bonds. It's the most in the world. We were recognized by the President of Israel, President Herzog, for our commitment to purchasing Israel bonds. But I want to put that in some context. As I mentioned, 100% of our portfolio returned $27 million when I first took office. The investment in Israel bonds, which is 15% of our portfolio, is giving us around $35 million a year annually, far outpacing what 100% of our investment did. With us today, someone who has a steadfast commitment to Palm Beach County for many, many decades is the Executive Director of Israel Bonds, Mark Rubin. Mark, if you could, sir. I also see with us today somebody who has been dedicated to serving the community in Florida to likes that I couldn't even imagine. Deputy Tom Nadler was a Broward County Sheriff's deputy. I know you're not going to like it, but it's important. He was shot in the line of duty, stabbed in the line of duty. He is now working for Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, an incredible resource. I see he's here with his friend Louis Stahl, who is instrumental in providing support, feeding the hungry, and helping those on the Sheriff's Foundation. Thank you both for being here today. It means a great deal. I did not invite a lot of family, friends, elected. Again, this was for us. I wanted you to know our staff take a reflection of what we've done over the past 4 years and where we're headed for the next. And with that, I will be reappointing to their chief positions Shannon Ramsey Chessman, Chief Deputy Clerk. Please stand, Shannon. Amy Borman, Chief Operating Officer of Courts, Official Records, and General Counsel. Radcliffe Brown, Chief Operating Officer of Finance. Kathy Bernstein, Chief Communications Officer. Tracy Ellison, Chief of Human Resources. Louis Modesti, Director of Employment Engagement and our Ombudsman. Roger Trickia, our Inspector General. As we celebrate 115 years of Palm Beach County history, I'm filled with gratitude on how far we've come and energized by the possibilities ahead. To our employees, thank you for your dedication and to service. And to the residents of Palm Beach County, thank you again for your trust. Together, we will continue to lead with honor, respect, and devotion to duty. The future is bright, and I am excited for what we will all accomplish. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.